Yo, what's going on, everyone? My name is Benjamin Nowak. For those of you that don't know me, for those of you guys that do, thanks for coming back and watching another video, and welcome back to the No Wake Nation. Now, this video, we're going to be talking about something that I'm super passionate about and something I've spent a lot of time trying to understand and kind of perfect in my arsenal, and that is my top drop shot shapes, top drop shot baits for big smallmouth bass. Now, this is not going to be talking about the gear that I use, the rod, the line, the hooks, everything else that goes into drop shotting. I have another video for that. I'll leave that link down in the description below, as well as pop up in one of these corners here. This is only going to be talking about my top drop shot shapes and baits that I like to throw when I'm out there targeting big smallmouth bass. Now, this is something I've spent a lot of time doing. I already told you guys that, but it catches a lot of really big fish. This is not only a small fish technique, but I think drop shots are such an accurate presentation and can be so fine-tuned what fish are eating that they catch really, really big fish. And that's what I'm hopefully going to instill in you guys today, is to give you guys the confidence to go out on your bodies of water, whether you live up here in the north, whether you live down south, anywhere that you live across the country targeting smallmouth bass, to go out and have confidence that you're throwing the right baits to imitate the forage that your bass are eating to catch big smallmouth bass. Now, this is really smallmouth oriented, so if you guys have any questions or comments related to that, go down and leave them in the comment section below. Hit that thumbs up if you enjoy this video, and if you're not already, hit that subscribe button. But enough talking, let's get into the baits. Let's get started. Now, one disclaimer, I know I'm going to miss probably one of your favorite drop shot baits. This is going to be very limited to my top 3 or top 4 shapes. So with that said, there's a good chance I'm going to miss your favorite drop shot bait. If I did, let me know down in the comment section below. It might be something I need to try. It might be something that doesn't work for where I'm at. But I've tried a lot of shapes. Let me show you guys. This here alone is my drop shot bait box. There's a ton of baits, from Beast Coast Magic Flick to the Duo Realis V-Tail Shad to the Berkeley Power Bait to Canadian lures to Strike King lures to Kitech. There's a ton of different types of drop shot baits in this box here. I've tried a lot of them, and I found some things that I really like, found some things that I have confidence in, and that's what we're going to be focusing on. Now, the first bait is something that you guys have watched me grow with and evolve with throughout the channel. It's actually the bait that I've caught some of the biggest smallmouth bass on this channel today on, and in fact, my biggest bag ever was caught on this bait. It's a Canadian bait, so you can only get it in Canada. I'm working on bringing some to the States, but for now, it's only available purchasing out of Canada, and that is the Bass Magnet Lures Twitch. This bait here has caught me more big smallmouth than any other drop shot bait, and all other drop shot baits probably combined, and these are 2 of my favorite colors. This one here is called Spanky in the 4-inch, and this here is the Clearwater Perch color in the 3 3/4, 3.5 inch size, I believe. Both awesome colors, and if I have to pick up a drop shot bait and get bites, this is going to be the bait that I'm picking up in most all situations. And the reason I like this bait is because it's super soft. The way it dances and just moves in the water's super, super critical. It also can be used to imitate baitfish, can be used to imitate gobies, can be used to imitate a bunch of different forage types down there, and it kind of has a really natural presentation, really natural movement down there underwater. What I really like is this tail. It's sort of a flat but bulbous tail, and what that does is it causes this bait to have a lot of roll and movement in the water. The body doesn't do a whole lot, but this tail will move and shake and shimmy, so you don't have to impart a lot of action. You don't have to be shaking your rod really hard to get this bait to move. Natural current will move this tail, cause this body to roll, cause this bait to move, and it draws a lot of big bites. If I didn't already mention, this color is Spanky. This is probably my #1 go-to color up here in the north when I'm fishing, you know, Lake Huron, Lake Michigan, Lake St. Clair. This is a great color. This is just a really good all-around color. When that water gets clearer, though, and I know those fish are feeding on perch or little bait fish, this Clearwater Perch color is a really, really deadly color. It's kind of translucent, and it's actually airbrushed, so there's some black lines on the back. It's got some copper orange flake in the body, and I just really like the way that looks in the water. It's such a good perch imitation that it's a bait that not a lot of people talk about, but they throw it a lot on Lake St. Clair and get crushed. This is a really good imitation of those young perch, and it just catches a lot of big fish. Now, like I said, these are Canadian poured baits. You really can't get them anywhere in the States. Now, I know you guys are saying to yourself, man, I can't get that in the States. I don't want to pay the shipping charge. I'm going to give you guys an alternative that you might already have in the boat, or something that will work similarly. And it's a bait that is fairly new to the market. So the alternative bait I want to talk to you guys about is the Berkley Power Bait Flatworm. Now this is a bait relatively new to the market, but it looks very similar to that Bass Magnet Lures Twitch. The tail's shaped slightly different. The body is a little bit thicker all the way to the back, but it's also a very, very good drop shot bait. I played with it a little bit towards the end of last year. Catches a lot of big fish. And there's two colors in this bait that I really like. The first color is the brown back in the Flatworm, and the second color is Mango Magic. Mango Magic, kind of same theory. This is better for a little bit dirtier water, low light conditions. This brown back is really good when those fish can see a long ways, so when they're feeding on shiners, when they're feeding on some sort of bait fish up in the water column. I like to go with the brown back. Has a little bit of white in the side, brown on the back. Just imitates a ton of different types of bait fish really well. Now, there is a sleeper in this category I want to talk to you guys about, and it is the Duo Realis V-Tail Shad. Now, this is a bait not a lot of people know about, not a lot of people fish, and I really like the bait because it's a small profile, but that tail, similar to the Twitch, will want to roll and move in the water. It also is salted in the bottom of it, so it stands out and it kind of sits like this very well. It's kind of a keeled out body shape, so to have a little bit of roll, but really this tail is going to be doing most of the action for you. So that small minnow profile, my favorite is the Twitch, followed by the Berkley Flatworm, followed by the V-Tail Shad by Duo Realis. Now this second shape is something that has really hit the market and taken the market by storm over the past couple of years. It's something Jordan Lee's caught a lot of big fish on. Mark Zona was catching a lot of big fish on, not talking about it. And it's a shape that is really taken off, especially up here in the Midwest, where these fish are feeding on big alewives, big perch, and just big bait fish all around. That's why these smallmouth are getting so big, is because they're feeding on such big bait fish. So the bait that I'm talking to you guys about is the Strike King Z2. Now this is a bait that came into its own when Jordan Lee almost won the event on St. Clair a couple of years ago on it. But the Z2 has been around a long time, and it's catching a lot of big fish. What I like about this bait is it's made of Elastec plastic, so you can fish it all day, catch a ton of fish on it, take it back off, and put it in your package, and save it for next time. Now if I'm choosing colors, this only comes in minnow style colors, kind of shad or bait fish colors. I really like this smoke belly with the grayish smoke back. There's another one called, I believe, Arkansas Shiner that's really good. It's kind of got a greenish back with a white belly. Imitates those perch, imitates those emerald shiners really well. Really can't go wrong with any of those bait fish colors. As long as you're fishing it around areas that big smallmouth live, they'll bite it, they'll eat it. They're hungry, they're curious creatures, and that's going to catch you a lot of fish. Now they do have a baby Z2. It's not something I played with. If I'm going to that small of a profile, I'm going to change back to that Twitch style bait. But I really like the size, this profile. It catches a lot of big fish. And it's finally out here in the public, so we can talk about it without getting, crucified by the people that love this bait. Another bait in that same sort of category is the Castaic Jerky J. Now the Jerky J, it's kind of not talked about, but a lot of guys fish this bait in a drop shot. Similar style to that Z2. That tail just moves a ton. And this is the 5-inch model in bluegill. I like this color because it's kind of more of a chartreuse side, less translucent, and that stands out better in that dingy or dirtier water. So I really like this color. This is bluegill color. They make a lot of great shad or bait fish or bluegill or perch style colors that work really well. You just nose hook this bait. That's the way I prefer to do it. And it's kind of doing the action down there for you. Again, another bigger style, fluke style, bait fish style shape that catches a lot of big bass. And finally, a drop shot bait segment would not be complete without talking about Goby profile baits. Now, this is a bait that's fallen out of graces with me, partially because of the company that I used to buy them through. I believe they changed owners and the plastic consistency is different, but that's the Poor Boys Baits Irdar. Now this is a bait that I used to have a ton of confidence in. This was my #1 drop shot bait for a long time. Caught me a lot of big smallmouth because it looks like a Goby, moves like a Goby, which is not really that much, and it just has a little bit better feel. It doesn't really do much on the drop shot hook, but it catches really big fish. Just looks very close to the Goby profile. The reason I'm not as big of a fan of this bait as I used to be, I found other baits that kind of garnered me more confidence. I caught bigger, more fish on, and the plastic consistency of this bait has changed to the point where I don't entirely have as much confidence in it. Now, there is a company, I believe, called Lurecraft that makes this same bait in some of my favorite colors, which are Mango Magic. You'll notice this across the board. Mango Magic, the smoke purple flake, or like kind of a perchish color. I don't know what it's called from any of these companies anymore, but it catches a lot of big fish. This is still a really good fish catcher. I just don't fish it as much. Just would rather fish one of those other baits, especially when imitating gobies or, you know, some bait fish in the water column. So that's really all I want to talk to you guys about. I know I probably missed your favorite drop shot bait. If I did, let me know down in the comment section below. Again, this is smallmouth focused. I didn't talk about any of the gear. If you guys want to know about that, it'll be linked up in one of these corners right here and in the description below for you guys to go check out. If you have any questions or comments, let me know down in the comment section below. Hit that thumbs up button. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Nowak Nation. I will talk to you guys later. Oh yeah. Take care, tight lines. God bless. Pursue your passion.